Lawmakers resumed from their annual recess and called on President Goodluck Jonathan to declare total war on insurgency. Now, while they were away, the Islamic sect Boko Haram battled with the Nigerian Army in the northeast. Also, while they were away, the dreaded Ebola virus was confirmed in the country. The lawmakers called for a national honor for the female doctor who died from the Ebola virus while treating patients infected with the virus. Hello, I'm Lanre Lasese and this is the Gavel. The National Assembly resumed this week and the lawmakers had their hands full as they sought to attend to national issues that emerged while they were on a long recess. Our first report today looks at the Parliament's reaction to the violence of insurgency.
Coming back from recess, lawmakers immediately got down to work. The Senate President, in his welcome speech, touched on the need for the petroleum industry bill to be passed as soon as possible.
I cannot overemphasize the importance of passing the petroleum industry bill as quickly as possible. Both operators and watchers of Nigeria's petroleum industry are in agreement that this vital sector is in dire need of reforms, and a new template that will enthrone these essential reforms is an urgent imperative. Every informed player in the industry that I have interacted with holds the view that one imperishable legacy the 7th Senate can leave behind is the passage of the petroleum industry bill. Not only will it engender greater transparency in the operations of the oil and gas industry, it will also enable our country to maximize the benefits derivable from this God-given resource.
He also touched on the just concluded national conference, saying the Senate is waiting for the President's action on the matter. But the main part of the speech was on the growing atrocities of the Boko Haram sect and the need for decisive action on the part of government.
The escalation of violence and the heinous crimes daily perpetrated by insurgents and terrorists, including the declaration of a caliphate, has reached an alarming proportion. Regrettably, the Boko Haram sect, these harbingers of death, have become more emboldened and daring, killing innocent Nigerians and destroying property at will. The Boko Haram sect has in no unmistaken terms declared a total war on Nigeria and Nigerians. Their ideology is alien to our culture. We must, as a people and nation, handle this situation with all the seriousness it deserves. We must come out with clear, concise, and unequivocal mission statement on how to win this war. As I have repeatedly said, we must, as a matter of urgency, fish out all the financiers of these terrorists and all collaborators, wherever they are, and bring them to book.
He said it's not time for trading blames, but for a united front against the insurgents. These views were also expressed by other senators when the matter came up as a motion.
The people of southern Borno, particularly Goza, Damboa, and majority of Borno, part of Adamawa, and part of Yobe, all of us know that it is presently occupied. The motion here says threat to our sovereignty. This is not threat. The reason why we have a government is basically for security and welfare of its citizens. Are we not citizens of Nigeria? So, Mr. President and my colleagues, I beg you again, if you don't care about your brother, God knows. And one day, I'm not praying for that, but it could be you.
We all know, as a matter of fact, very many local governments, many villages are no longer part of this country as today. And I think it is very important for me, as somebody who is coming from the northeast, though not from Taraba, not from Borno or Adamawa, this war is at my doorstep. I see fighting this war more important than all the electioneering activities that this country is undertaking. It is my candid opinion, Mr. President, that once the Senate gives us the go-ahead to see the President, among some of the resolutions that we should bring home is suspension of all electioneering activities until this war is finally and permanently won. Because if we are really part of this country, the concern is to survive. The concern is not to have people occupy offices. We have been unable to survive as a people. People are so disenfranchised. People are so disturbed that today the larger activities, the larger areas bordering Chad and Cameroon are no longer feeling as if they are part of Nigeria. And I'm not blaming the military for this, but I'm blaming the kind of response that this nation has provided to the issue of this war. We have seen how this federal government confronted the issue of Ebola squarely and dealt with it in a manner that speaks volume as to the intention of the federal government to contain it. The entire nation has not been galvanized. We have seen protests on Chibok girls. We have seen protests on Ebola. But we have never seen protests on the street of Nigeria by citizens of this country reminding ourselves, Mr. President, that this country is at war. Even the military that are on ground have not yet received a very clear order that this country is at war. The insurgency issue has taken a definition that is alien to what is happening on the ground. And therefore, for me, going forward, for us to have a full attention of the government and the citizens in one basket, it has to be mentioned as part of our resolution that all electioneering activities must be suspended until further notice. Otherwise, while this war is going on, Mr. President, people do not bother. Their lives and properties have been lost in billions, and it looks as if it is a normal thing.
The motion was passed unanimously, with the Senate resolving to send a delegation to President Goodluck Jonathan on the matter.
The Senate accordingly resolves to, 1, mandate the leadership of the Senate to meet with the President, Commander-in-Chief, President Goodluck Jonathan, and the leadership of the security agencies on steps taking thus far and further steps to address the situation and report back to the Senate.